Okay, not yet. We're not ready yet. Mr. Coleman, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
We're out of order.
no, she's doing her stuff. All right, welcome to the 272nd District Court Associate Magistrate docket. The time now is 1:52 p.m. Court is now in session. The proceedings are official and are being recorded. Counsel and all present are instructed to act as though you are in court, and all parties are instructed not to record these proceedings. Only the court coordinator can provide the official record. As with all proceedings, violation of these instructions are subject to contempt proceedings. Mr. Andreski, can you hear me okay?
Sorry, Judge, can you hear me now?
I can. Thank you. Mr. Coleman, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
I'm just pulling up your paperwork here so I can show you each individual one up on your screen. If you can't see it, let me know, sir. And cause number 192598, CRF 272nd, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. Do you understand that charge as well as the range of punishment based on the enhancements?
Yes, I can't see any paperwork on my side of,
I'm not quite there yet. I'll show you in just a moment. But you understand that charge as well as the range of punishment?
Yes.
Would you like me to go over with you the range of punishment in each of these cases?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, the judge is asking if you want her to go over some particulars on the ranges of punishment and what you're indicted for. We usually just waive that. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
In cause number 2597, CRF 272nd, you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Do you also understand that charge and range of punishment?
Yes.
In cause number 194796, CRF 272nd, count 1, you're charged with the offense of evading arrest or detention with a vehicle. And in count 2, you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Do you also understand both of those charges as well as the ranges of punishment?
Yes.
For each case, I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 1 and States Exhibit 2. This is the document that should show up on your screen there. All right, can you see that, sir?
Yes.
States Exhibit 1 for each of your cause numbers is your plea of guilty, waiver of stipulation, and judicial confession. Did you sign this document in each cause number and count?
Yes.
States Exhibit 2 for each case is the plea agreement and order. Is this your signature?
Yes.
In each of these cases, did you sign each document freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes.
Do you understand by signing States Exhibit 1 that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law?
Yes.
Did you have adequate time to go over each of these documents with Mr. Andreski?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in each document?
No.
Is there an offer from the state?
For exhibits 1, 2, and 3 in each case, Judge.
The defense has no objection, Judge.
States Exhibit 1, 2, and 3 will be admitted. Sir, do you understand that if I approve the agreements that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No.
Have you ever sought any mental health treatment?
No.
Mr. Andreski, do you believe your client is competent?
I do, Your Honor.
I will find you competent. And cause number 19-2598, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
And to the enhancement paragraphs, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
Based on your plea of guilty and plea of true, I'll find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'll find you guilty, find the enhancement paragraphs true, sentence you to 5 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. You'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. In 19-2597, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle?
Guilty.
Are you also pleading guilty in this case because you are guilty?
Yes.
And how do you plead to the enhancement paragraphs?
Guilty.
True or not true?
True.
I will find you guilty, find the enhancement paragraphs true, sentence you to 5 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. That will run concurrent, and you'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. There will also be $100 in restitution to the victim.
You said that's concurrent, correct?
That will run concurrent, yes, sir. In 19-4796, CRF 272nd, count 1, how do you plead to the offense of evading arrest or detention with a vehicle?
Guilty.
And to the enhancement paragraphs, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
And to the offense in count 2 of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Based on your plea of guilty in each count, I will find you guilty. I'll find the enhancement paragraphs true. I'll sentence you to 5 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice on each count. They will run concurrent as well, and you'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. In count 1, there will be an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And restitution, if any, is determined at this plea. Mr. Capps, is there any additional restitution that the court needs to be made aware of?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
All right. The record
On
will-
the more recent UMV case, I've made efforts to attempt to contact the victim by calling the number that I have for them, have not received a response. In the prior UMV case, I did speak with the victim of that offense. He's aware of the plea, did not wish to be present, Judge.
Thank you. Sir, I'm also going to show you what's labeled the request to consider unadjudicated offenses. Here in this document, it shows you have a driving while license invalid, a possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, and cause number 19-3131 CRM 272nd, and another possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces in 18-4803. Do you understand each of those charges and the range of punishment?
Yes.
And how do you plead to each charge?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to each of these cases because you are guilty?
Yes.
Based on your admission of guilt in each case that's listed on the request, I will bar any further prosecution, so you won't have a conviction, but do know if you get in trouble in the future that it will be used against you. All right, is there anything else from either side?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Coleman, I just have a couple of questions for you. Were you satisfied overall of my representation of you?
Yes.
Did you have the opportunity to ask me any questions that you wanted to ask me about your cases?
Yes.
And were my answers satisfactory to you?
Yes.
Okay. And for the record, I did advise you, didn't I, that on this evading with a vehicle charge, this will be your second final conviction on a felony other than a state jail felony, which in the future, if you are arrested for a felony other than a state jail felony, you could be enhanced as a habitual, which means a minimum of 25 years. You understand that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And
I have
this
no
is-
other questions, Judge. Thank you.
And this is a 3G, correct? It's classified as 3G?
Yes, there's a deadly weapon finding. So yes, it's what we used to call a 3G offense. You'll have to serve half. It's aggravated. So you'd have to serve half of your sentence before you're eligible for parole. Okay?
Gotcha.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Sir, do you have any questions about anything we've gone over here today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else. Good luck to you.
Good luck, Mr. Coleman.
Judge, we didn't get the thumbprint page on him. Do we need that?
Ms. Parker?
The only one I have is for Mr. Calvin, who's the last one on the docket today.
Oh, no, there's a bunch of them.
Ms. Parker indicated that there were several.
They went
That you
at
should have.
Friday at 1:45. Bethany printed it several times and Irma printed them. Somebody got it.
I don't get those emails. They print them out for me, so I'll have to see if we can find it.
Do you need me to send them to somebody? I can forward them to somebody real quick. But they all went. I had 5 or 6 of them that went Friday afternoon.
I'll check with Sergeant Chambers. He might have just overlooked it.
Okay.
Glover next.
That is correct, Glover, please. I'll give you a minute because we'll need fingerprints on Glover anyway.
And I even said, I even sent an email to Jill, hey, no one's, that you've received these emails. And I get this, oh, I'm sorry, let me do this.
Mr. Serta, I will approve you for a court-appointed attorney. Just give her a minute. She'll get you that paperwork shortly. Afternoon.
How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. Good.
We're just waiting on the jail. They didn't get Lisa's email for some reason with fingerprint cards, so they went to go take care of that for a minute.
I have the pleasure of having 2 prosecutors today.
3.
Kevin's here. He
Like
just
Kevin's
Kevin's still there? Oh, Kevin blacked out on me.
Yeah. It takes all 3 of us, you know, we got to gang up on people every now and
I
then.
see.
Carl Moore. Okay, I see here.
Judge, I just hung up the phone with Mr. Moore. I believe he is outside in our parking lot currently.
Got it.
Got it. Yeah, there you go. Take a spot, George William. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Serta, is there any reason Mr. Banks can't handle your case? He was the attorney on your prior or underlying case.
I just can't afford it right now.
But I mean, as far as if I appoint him to you.
I'll get it.
All right.
I know he does. That's what I'm saying. He's breaking it in already. I think he wants to help. Could you call us? I think we'll probably all do that first anyway.
But y'all
I think so.
doing evictions. That's why I'm glad.
Give me 1 second, you're muted.
We are
All right.
crazy.
Did you have Ms. Parker email directly to Sergeant Chambers, the police for today? Because they still get so many emails on Friday and it was a different shift.
No problem. You have that email, Ms. Parker?
I'll do it right now.
She's on it right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Glover, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 192578, CRM 272nd, you're charged with the offense of theft of property, $100 to $750. Do you understand that charge as well as the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to formally go over the range of punishment with you for both of your cases?
If you want to.
It's completely up to you, sir.
Ms. Glover, we usually just waive that.
All right.
But you do understand the ranges?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're also charged in cause number 193558, CRF 272nd, with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 to 400 grams. Do you understand that charge and range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the range of punishment with the enhancement paragraph?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 1 and States Exhibit 2 that you're going to see up on your screen. States Exhibit 1 for both of your cases is your plea of guilty, waiver of stipulation, and judicial confession. Did you sign this document in each case?
Yes, ma'am.
And States Exhibit 2 is the plea agreement and order. Is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you also sign this document in both cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by signing States Exhibit 1 in each case that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over all of these documents with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he review and explain each one to your satisfaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in States Exhibit 1 or 2?
No, ma'am.
Is there an offer from the state?
Your Honor, the state would offer exhibits 1, 2, and 3 in each of these cause numbers.
The defense has no objection.
States Exhibit 1, 2, and 3 will be admitted. Do you understand that if I approve the agreements that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever sought any mental health treatment?
I'm an MHMR patient.
All right, anything about you being an MHMR patient that would prevent you today from understanding the proceedings?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Andreski, do you believe your client is competent?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
I will find you competent. In cause number 192578, CRM 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of theft of property as alleged in the information?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of guilty, I will find you guilty. I'll sentence you to 180 days in the Brazos County Jail. You'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. In cause number 193558, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 to 400 grams?
Guilty.
And to the enhancement paragraph, how do you plead, true or not true?
What do you mean by that?
The enhancement paragraph that outlines a prior felony that you've been convicted of in the past.
True.
Do you understand which enhancement paragraph that the state is alleged?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Based on your plea of guilty and your plea of true to the enhancement paragraph, I will find you guilty. I'll find the enhancement paragraph true. I'll sentence you to 5 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. You'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. I'm also looking at the request to consider unadjudicated offenses where you have a possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces and cause number 192694 CRM 272nd. Do you understand that charge and range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you plead to the offense of possession of marijuana?
Guilty, I guess.
Let me pull that up for you. Are you guilty of this offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your admission of guilt, I'll bar any further prosecution. So you won't have a conviction, but do know if you get in trouble in the future that it could be used against you. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else from either side that I need to go over?
Nothing from the state.
Your Honor, I have a few things, please.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Glover, I want to ask you just a couple of questions. First, I want to ask you overall, were you satisfied with my representation of you?
Yeah, you did great.
What?
You did great.
Thank you. Did you feel like you had an opportunity to ask me all the questions that you wanted to ask me?
Yes, sir.
And did I go over with you the fact that because this will be your second final conviction on a felony other than a state jail felony, that in the future, if you were charged with a felony other than a state jail felony, the state could enhance you as a habitual and seek a minimum sentence of 25 years. You do understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
I also want to ask you, are you asking the court today to waive your court costs in this matter?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to do that because you are an MHMR patient and disabled?
Yes, sir.
And at the time of your arrest, were you able to be employed?
No, sir.
And were you awaiting disability payments and approval through MHMR or Social Security?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any money in the bank right now that you could use to pay off these court costs?
No, sir.
Okay. Judge, that's all the questions I have. I'd ask the court to waive his court costs in this matter.
I will grant that request. Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, good luck to you.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Castillo next.
I've got Stefan Foley. He's in person, so give me one moment, and your next one's going to be
Castillo.
Mr. Castillo.
Okay, I'll go ahead and have it in here.
Judge, if you, I'm sorry, I'll send you the jail orders and stuff to look here. There's the paperwork on Foley when you're ready to do it. He is in the courtroom with Richard Price. It's the one they handed me,
Okay.
and he will be going into custody.
Thank
You
you.
have everything ready whenever you want.
This is cause number 193169, CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus Stefan Foley.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. Do you understand the charge as well as the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a second-degree felony, so that range of punishment is between 2 up to 20 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, as well as potentially up to a $10,000 fine. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1 and State's Exhibit 2. State's Exhibit 1 is your plea of guilty, waiver of stipulation, and judicial confession. Did you sign this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And State's Exhibit 2 is the plea agreement and order. Is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign both of these documents freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by signing State's Exhibit 1 that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over State's Exhibit 1 and 2 with Mr. Price?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he review and explain each of those documents to your satisfaction?
You did. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in State's Exhibit 1 or 2?
No, sir.
Is there an offer from the state?
State offers, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1, 2, and 3 will be admitted. Do you understand that if I approve the agreement that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever sought any mental health treatment?
Can you tell me exactly what you mean by mental health treatment?
Are you on any type of medication
No,
for any
no.
sort of disorder, or have you ever sought care from a psychologist or psychiatrist, anything of that nature?
No.
All right. Do you believe your client is competent?
I do, Your Honor.
I will find you competent. Would you like a copy of the indictment read back to you that specifically lays out what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what you want. Do you know what you charge?
Huh?
Do you know what you charge?
Yes, and then. Oh, I can waive it down. You don't have to give me all copies, ma'am. If
I'll
it
put
holds
up
you
a
back.
copy on the screen for you just so you understand what document we're talking about. Can you see that okay?
Yes, ma'am. No, I can't.
It's the one that lays out what you're charged with. You want that read back to you?
I can read now. It's okay.
And how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, felony group 1, 4 to 200 grams, as alleged in the indictment?
John, may I ask a court question first?
Go right ahead.
I was under the impression that we were not going to do the plea today because the paperwork came in late.
But then you showed up and he showed up.
Oh, okay.
Did that
All right.
change?
Then I didn't tell you the truth, sir. You will be going today.
Is that what you want to do today, sir?
I wasn't trying to, ma'am. My mom not here. She wasn't ready for me. If I can, ma'am, I ask you if I can just get a little bit more time.
Since that was not his understanding, would you like to plead as you intended to do and reset sentencing in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state have any objection to that?
Your Honor, I would like, I guess, to put on the record if we move forward with resetting sentencing, that if the defendant does not show up at the date of sentencing, that this would revert to an open plea.
Yeah, Mr. Price, would you like a minute to talk with your client about that?
Ma'am, I raised my right hand. I want to lie to you. I'm going to show up just like I
All
did
right.
today.
What she's saying, that if you plead guilty today and we reset sentencing for your 4 years,
I have to show up.
if you did not show up, it would revert to an open plea, which means that full range of punishment could apply. You understand that?
Understood, which means I understand now.
All right, very good. And how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, felony group 1, 4 to 200 grams?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of guilty, I will find you guilty. We will reset sentencing. Ms. Parker will give you that date.
Now, could you tell me the exact sentences that I'm getting sentenced for?
As long as you appear 4 years TDC, you'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your understanding of the agreement?
There you go.
All right.
What date and how far out for reset sentencing?
You asking us, or
I need somebody to tell me.
how
If
long,
I would pick it, I'd pick it quick.
how long do you need?
Honestly, I don't know what exact day it is.
Mr. Price, what was your understanding of when you were going to come back to plea?
Ma'am, we didn't have a particular date. I did not send the paperwork in on time, and I told him that we weren't going to do the plea today. And I assumed it would be set off 30 days or so.
All right. We will reset it at Ms. Parker's typical reset date that she would have reset this for a plea, which is standard 2 weeks. Is that correct, Ms. Parker? We'll give you 2 weeks, sir, and she'll get you that setting notice. So make sure you appear.
That's all right, man. That's enough for me.
All right.
Thank you.
You're going to have to sign for that, sir.
Understand.
And just between me and you, I'm sorry about the
It's cool.
yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Do you have any questions for me about anything we've
No,
gone
ma'am.
over here today?
No, ma'am.
You're sure that's what you want to do here today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. She'll
Sorry
get you
to waste
that
your
setting
time.
notice.
I would put my mask on. I ain't close.
I understand.
Was there a misdemeanor?
If there isn't, I believe it's been 12:45.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't take care of that for you.
No, that's okay. The 1245 means in this case goes away for substitution for the police.
Oh, last week.
If you want to.
This is the possession of marijuana and the request to consider unadjudicated offenses that you've signed here. Just stating that if you admit your guilt as agreed to, that I'll bar any further prosecution.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the charge and the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you plead to the offense of possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces?
Wasn't it ranked concurrent like it's out the way?
I will bar any further prosecution. So you will not have a conviction, but if you get in trouble in the future, it could be used against you.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I plead to that. But can I ask a question afterwards?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, yes, I plead.
Are you pleading guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
But are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, based on your plea of guilty, I'll bar any further prosecution. So you won't have that conviction, but do know if you get in trouble in the future, like I said, it could be used against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions that you
Yes,
have for
ma'am.
me?
I have a question. Ma'am, I don't know if you can do it, or my lawyer can, but I don't know exactly if I have warrants or anything. But whenever I do have to sign or whatever, I was wondering if I could get those added to my time already, so I don't have to deal with that when I come back.
I don't have any indication on whether you do or do not have any warrants. Ms. Parker, are you showing any warrants? So as far as we are aware of, you do not. That does not mean they're not out there. So make sure you check
Yeah,
into
that's
that
all I was making
and
sure.
just let Mr. Price know if you believe that you do have warrants, and he can hopefully wrap that
I
up.
just want to get taken care of while I'm there.
I
'Cause I'm
understand.
gonna have to go, yes, ma'am.
What kind of warrants? Cases for crimes? Like your money?
Honestly, I don't know. Right here.
On that, one of those lines, yes, sir, just sign your name.
You got my ticket, bro?
Tickets wouldn't be
20?
covered.
Is it 20?
I need you to sign your name. Yeah.
Cause I honestly don't know, like.
If it's anything above a traffic ticket, it would come up in the system to the president's got, but other counties don't count.
Reason why I asked is like, cause I ain't never just had, was this big, and I've been to jail before and got arrested when I was supposed to get out. Like, I don't wanna have no other charge. I feel like I just wanna do that right then and there.
As far as I know, there's nothing. However, if you get to TDC down the road, and they tell you there's a hold on you from some other county, you write that county a letter by your own hand and sign it and date it and tell them you want your case adjudicated. They will have to bring you there and do it within 180 days,
Makes sense.
okay?
Does he have his next setting notice, Ms. Parker? All right, sir, you're good to go. Make sure you appear. What date is that set for, Ms. Parker? So it's on the record.
At 1:25 PM.
All right,
June 1st?
June 1st, make sure you're here and you're here on
Yes,
time.
ma'am. Yeah.
Have a good day.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant. you were shooting me.
I felt so too, that I pulled the paperwork, and I saw the speaker, and he said, "Yeah," I said, I never said it. And he signed on the side.
We really need cameras that swivel. Side.
We need Mr. Lewis.
All right,
You wanna do the plea next or some of these statuses? Which one
we can do a few statuses.
Okay. You just wanna go in order?
Yeah, I'll just go in order. Who do you have? I have Ronnie Kennard.
Mr. Price, and I don't know if he's here. He's on, oh, he's supposed to be.
Ronnie Kennard.
No.
No, I was making sure, there's some of these Zooms and in-persons all together.
We should take a minute. What's the status of resetting the court judge and the mail with setting notices out?
Okay.
I don't want him to stay in here any longer than he has.
Yeah, this is cause number 153853 CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus Ronnie Kennard. This is set for a status of motion to revoke. What's the status of this case?
Yeah, there has been an offer, but I have not had a chance to talk to Mr. Kennard about whether he will accept it or not. but there is no on the table that I think is good to June 1 or 18.
All right. Anything that the state wants to place on the record? You're muted, Ashley. Let me unmute.
Sorry,
There we go.
nothing on the record at this time, Your Honor. An offer's been extended. I think we need to set it for an MTR hearing, and you know, if that offer is accepted between now and then, we will let the court know, but I believe it needs to be set for a hearing.
All right, does that suffice with you, Mr. Price?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, we're going to set your case for a motion to revoke. However, Mr. Price is going to extend that offer, and if you decide to take that offer, we'll bring you back into court and set it for a plea. Do you have any questions for me today? All right, sir, if there's nothing else, you can be excused. You'll be mailed your next setting notice.
Just going to just sit up there. I'll be just a minute.
Who is your last one, Mr. Price?
Brianna Jones, Judge.
Let's go out of order and we'll take Brianna Jones.
That's the one that's down in Houston. With them car. It's also the natural car. Brianna Jones? Brianna Jones?
Have you had any contact with her, Mr. Price?
Brianna Jones? Only twice since was appointed to her.
Okay.
She doesn't answer the phone. I don't think she doesn't have many paper phone.
All right. How was the defendant's name called 3 times outside the courtroom door?
Yes, ma'am.
Any response?
No response, Judge.
Her bond will be forfeited. A KPS will be issued for arrest. Mr. Price, if you have any contact with her, just have her contact Ms. Parker.
Yes, ma'am. I would advise for something just came to mind. I believe I did receive a written note from her from the Harris County Jail. She might be in one of the prisons or jail.
All right. If you get any confirmation, just let Ms. Parker know as
Yes,
well. Thank you.
Myself.
Have a good afternoon.
I believe that does me, Judge. In that case,
You are. Have a good day.
you too. Thank you.
Is Mark Rosas out there?
And Ms. Wilkinson.
Yes.
All right.
Good afternoon. Hey, Judge. All right, this is cause number 193791, CRF 272nd, 192034, 192033, 192032, 184990, and 184419, CRM 272nd, State of Texas versus Mark Rosas. This is set for a status hearing. What's the status of this case?
I spoke to Ashley Martin via email last week. We've agreed to another reset. I indicated to Ms. Martin that there's a witness I'm still trying to locate. And so for that reason, we'd ask for another status hearing.
Anything that the state would like to place on the record?
No, ma'am, nothing at this time.
All right, sir, we'll reset your case. You will get that setting notice in the mail, so make sure you keep an eye out for it. Is your address still the same?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, if there's nothing else, you can be excused. Anything else, Sarah?
No, ma'am.
All right, have a good
Thank
afternoon.
you, Judge. Thanks, Lisa.
All right, Terry Simmons.
Judge, you disappeared on us. I was here a minute ago. I have, Mr. Calderon and Mr. Lewis.
All right, let's bring in Hillman Davis. Good afternoon. How are you? Good, doing well. All right, this is cause number 194799, CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus Hillman Davis. This is set for arraignment and pretrial. What's the status of this case?
Your Honor, waiving arraignment as for another status. I've been speaking with Ms. Burns. I asked for the in-car video on one of the charges. She said she had requested it. She sent me the email for requesting it. Just waiting on that. It affects the ability to stop, so it's kind of material to the case, Judge.
And have you formally filed a waiver of arraignment, or do we need to do that with Ms. Parker?
Now, Judge. If you need one, it's up to you. I believe that I filed one for the original charge. I don't know if I filed one for the new one.
Give me just a second.
I can pull it up, sir. Up on the screen here, can you see a copy of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your name spelled correctly in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're charged with the offense of manufacturing delivery of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams. Do you understand that charge and range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
To that offense, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
I'll enter a plea of not guilty, and we will reset your case. Is there anything else from either side we need to take up here this afternoon?
That's it, Judge.
All right, sir. If there's nothing else, you can be excused. You will get your next setting notice in the mail. Is your address still the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need to confirm that?
Yes, ma'am, please.
What is your address that you have?
2407 Jaguar Drive. Pardon me. No, ma'am.
Give her a second and she'll update your address.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
if I may, I just wanted to let Will know and the defendant that I did receive a response from law enforcement that there was no recording of this stop from the dash cam video. Apparently, this particular officer's dash cam video has had a problem uploading in the past, and they've searched their records and there's no video from the stop of the initial detention other than the body cam footage. I forwarded that email to Mr. Calderon as well.
Thank you.
All right, here's the form you need to fill out. You can just stand up there and fill it out and just leave it, and I'll come get it.
Just copy the case real quick.
I'll put the case number on it. If you just get his name at the top and his scoop, I'll do this.
Right.
And this next one on McKinley Allen is the attorney that's been steered by phone. I believe he's called in or texted into your Zoom hearing. And this-
That's not Carl Moore.
Correct, it is.
It is. Okay.
You want to get McKinley Allen?
Yeah, here's my address.
You don't have two behind that. So Neely on Zoom.
Yeah.
40. I'll see if I can track him down.
Okay, if not, she can do that.
Well, that's fine. I'll give McKinley now. Just make sure we have.
Not unlocked out.
Mr. Moore, can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
I can, sir.
Okay.
All right, this is cause number 195232, CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus McKinley Allen. This is set for a status hearing. Your client is present here in the courtroom. What's the status of this case?
We have reached out to the DA's office and we are awaiting the link share password or code in order to access all of the discovery.
Is there anything else we need to place on the record?
No, ma'am.
I don't believe so.
How far out would you like a reset?
45 days, maybe.
All right, we will reset at 30 to 45 days. Sir, you will get your setting notice in the mail, so make sure you keep in contact with your attorney. Is your address the same?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing else, then you can be excused. All right, anything else from either side?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Moore, Ms. Parker will let you know as soon as we have an open date and get you that setting notice.
No, yeah. Okay,
Sorry,
thank you, Judge.
You're
May I
welcome. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, bye.
He was here, Jay was not out there either. I mean, if you want me to try to go track him down, man. He was one of the first ones.
Now we're gonna jump over to Castillo.
Mr. Lewis.
Hi, Ms. Castillo, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Your
Your Honor,
attorneys.
we see your forehead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we are back and forth on this camera. I'm about to turn it around again so you can see your attorney, Mr. Lewis. He is present in the courtroom. All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. All right, your client is present, as well as the prosecutors that are handling this case. I'm looking at cause number 15-4265, Sierra 272nd. Ms. Castillo, you have a motion to revoke that was filed November 6th of 2019. Are you the same person that was placed on probation in that cause number?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand each of the violations that the state is alleging?
Yes, ma'am.
In cause number 20-1084, Sierra 272nd, you have a possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. Do you understand that charge as well as the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1 and State's Exhibit 2 for both of your cases here. State's Exhibit 1 in cause number 15-4265, Sierra 272nd, is your plea of true to the state's motion to revoke your community supervision or adjudicate your guilt. Did you go over this document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And in cause number 21084, Sierra 272nd, State's Exhibit 1 is titled Your Plea of Guilty, Waiver of Stipulation, and Judicial Confession. Did you also go over this document with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
State's Exhibit 2 for both of your cases is the plea agreement and order. Did you sign this document in each cause number?
Yes, ma'am.
Were each of these documents signed freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand by signing State's Exhibit 1 for each case that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over each of these documents with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in State's Exhibit 1 or 2?
No, ma'am.
Is there an offer from the state?
For exhibits 1 and 2, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr.
No
Lewis?
objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 and 2 will be admitted. Ma'am, do you understand that if I approve the agreements that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever sought any mental health treatment?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Lewis, do you believe your client is competent?
I certainly believe she is, Judge.
I will find you competent. And cause number 15-4265, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the allegations in the motion to revoke that was filed November 6th of 2019? True or not true?
True.
Are you pleading true because each of those allegations are true?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to read back to you each violation?
No, ma'am.
Based on your plea of true, I'll find sufficient evidence to find the allegations true. I will find them true. I'll revoke your probation, sentence you to 2 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. You will be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. In cause number 201084, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty in this cause number because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of guilty, I will find you guilty. I'll sentence you to 2 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. That will run concurrent, and you'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. I'm also looking at the request to consider unadjudicated offenses. That's now back up on your screen, where you have a driving while license invalid and a possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 3, less than 28 grams. Do you also understand both of those charges as well as the ranges of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature here?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you want me to do, is take each of these charges into consideration?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you plead to each charge as listed in the request?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty in both of these cases because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your admission of guilt in each case, I will bar any further prosecution. So you won't have a conviction, but do know if you get in trouble in the future that it could be used against you.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me about anything we've gone over here today?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the defense, sure.
Judge, I don't think I offered State's Exhibit 3 in this case as well. I'd like to offer that as well. Should be attached.
All right, State's Exhibit 3 will be admitted if there's no objection, Mr. Lewis. All right, State's Exhibit 3 is admitted. Is there anything else, Mr. Capps?
No, Judge, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Lewis?
No, thank you.
All right, ma'am, if there's nothing else, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Lewis, is that all you have here this
I believe
afternoon?
it is, Judge.
I was thinking to the family.
2 felonies and 2 misdemeanors.
Correct, 1100.
I don't know why.
That was just Castillo, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Parker, can you tell me which one was 1245?
Oh, you are? Where you going? You're
You're
gonna have fun somewhere.
I gotta go to Dallas for about,
Both misdemeanors, I guess.
Let me look, I'm looking right quick.
I think it's,
Yes, that's correct.
Thank
Well, you may have some stuff on Friday and Monday that's due by Thursday. That's the question.
I don't know, I'll check.
All right, hold on, you gotta talk to your clients beforehand.
Judge, the 1245 cases were the DWLI and the possession penalty group 3 less than 28 grams.
All right, thank you very much. Those were the only misdemeanors she had, correct?
Let me double check for you.
I'm gonna be going
I
in.
believe that's
Well, I
correct.
gotta go tomorrow for the playoff.
Got too many screens operating over here.
Yeah,
Calling them.
felony.
Tuesday.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
I'll try to, I've got something from Kevin.
We're trying to avoid bringing people to the courthouse, so if you could get me some kind of trial announcement that you've talked to him. You don't have to show up.
Mr.
and-
Cagle, ready on
Yeah.
Terry Simmons?
They're doing the surgery Thursday morning, and I don't know how
Okay,
long.
well, this will take you out. You're okay.
Mr. Davis, are you on Willingham? All right, we're gonna take care of a quick arraignment on Simmons and then you're next.
I gotta leave. Not looking forward to it. All right, okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, this is cause number 21054, CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus Terry Simmons. I've got a waiver of arraignment and plea of not guilty on file. Is there anything else that we need to take up this afternoon?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, sir, is your address still the same?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're gonna get your setting notice in the mail, so keep in contact with your attorney. Anything that the state needs to place on the record?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, if there's nothing else, you can be excused. Samuel Willingham?
I'm considering maybe in custody somewhere. I left 15 messages on the number that I have. He's on probation out of another county, and
Okay.
so.
Can you call the name Samuel Willingham 3 times outside the courtroom door? Mr. Davis, if you get any confirmation of that, just let Ms. Parker know.
How do I do that?
She may be able to tell.
I can check on Link about that right quick.
Okay.
But my question is, how long do I give him to let me know if it's not? I'll check it just a minute.
Okay.
But I need to know how long he wants to hold off issuing the warrant. If he's not in custody.
If he's not in custody, and you do have contact with him, Mr. Davis, make sure that he gets in contact with Ms. Parker.
I prefer the attorney's not.
That's fine. Make sure you get in contact with Ms. Parker before tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you have contact with Ms. Any response?
Judge called the name 3 times, no response.
His bond will be forfeited. A KPS will be issued for his arrest. Anything the state needs to place on the record?
No, ma'am.
I have a plea agreement that I expected he was going to accept, and so that's why I came here hoping to find something to be done. But that's all I got.
All right.
I'll look at it while she's doing it.
Sure, absolutely.
Mr. Graves, are you ready on James Robinson? Give me one moment and I'll pull that paperwork up.
Where did I go here?
Parker, you are fast. Said you were fast. You beat me to the minutes over here.
Oh. I have a few moments. Nope. The only charge they show he bonded out of the Brazos County just the detention center. So he's not in custody anymore in the city.
Okay, thank you.
We'll wait till he gets invited. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
How did you try the bond company?
Yes.
It's Gage Gandy. She usually gets them like that.
I know. I'll try again. They gave me that last number.
Okay.
I'll try it again.
Mr. Robinson, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is cause number 124710, CRF 272nd, and 201030, CRM 272nd. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I did.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Ma'am?
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney is present here in the courtroom. All right, you have a motion to revoke in cause number 124710, CRF 272nd. Do you understand each of the allegations in the motion to revoke? That was filed February 26th of 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to read back to you each of those allegations?
No, ma'am, that's fine.
Do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
In cause number 201030, CRM 272nd, you have a driving while license invalid. Do you also understand that charge and range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you up on your screen what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1 and State's Exhibit 2. Can you see that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and cause number 21030, CRM 272nd. Whoops. Disappeared on us. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it back up for you. All right, are you able to see?
Kathleen a gift. That's just what it says.
Yep.
Did you enter the minutes
On which one?
on Robinson?
I do not recall, but I will. All right, sir, can you see that okay up on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
In 201030 CRM 272nd, States Exhibit 1 is your plea of guilty, waiver of stipulation, and judicial confession. Did you have an opportunity to go over this document with Mr. Graves?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature there?
Yes, ma'am.
States Exhibit 1 in cause number 124710 CRF 272nd is your plea of true to the state's motion to revoke your community supervision. Did you also go over this document with Mr. Graves?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature here?
Yes, ma'am.
In both of your cause numbers, States Exhibit 2 is titled the plea agreement and order. Did you have an opportunity to sign this document in each cause number?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over each of these documents with Mr. Graves, and did he answer all questions that you have?
Just for the amount of back time, that's all.
And you will be given any credit for time which you have served so far.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, that's-
Do you understand that if I approve the agreement that you are waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
I'm on Zabalta, Abilify, and Triazone.
Is there anything about your medication or your mental health that would prevent you from understanding the proceedings here today?
No, no, ma'am.
Mr. Graves, you also believe your client is competent
Yes, sir. He is diagnosed bipolar, but
on medication as prescribed?
Yes.
All right, I will find you competent. Would you like a copy of the indictment read back to you? It'll actually be the information that read back to you in your driving while license invalid case. That specifically lays out the elements and what you're charged with.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. That's all right. Yes, sir, I've got it up on the screen here. Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can the state also see that document?
It's fine.
Yes, I can see it, Judge.
Would you like me to read it back to you, sir, or do you understand what I'm talking about by the information?
I understand.
And how do you plead to the offense of driving while license invalid subsequent?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of guilty, I will find you guilty. I'll sentence you to 100 days in the Brazos County Jail. You will be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. In cause number 124710 CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the allegations in the motion to revoke? True or not true?
True.
And are you pleading true to each of those violations?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading true because they are true?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of true, I'll find sufficient evidence to find the allegations true. I will find them true. I'll sentence you to 4 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and you will be given any credit for time which you've already served so far, and that is written on your plea paperwork.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about anything that we've gone over here today?
No, ma'am.
Did you sign all of these documents freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Graves, is there anything else you'd like to add for the purpose of the record?
Well, Judge, I mean, this is kind of, I'm here, there's been, I don't know what Mr. Capp's position is today, but just a brief rendition of this case as to the time he might have. And I understand as to, and Regina and I have been discussing this, but of course, the original date of arrest, and he bonded out next day. Then he was sentenced to safety September 3rd, 2013. He turned himself in on September 4th, 2013. He was released from the Brazos County Jail in TDC custody on 9/23/2013 and put into the SAFE program. August the 26th, 2015, a warrant was issued due to motion revoke being filed. He was picked up in November 26, 2015 in Rusk County for a new DWI. At that time, the warrant for the MTR was also served upon him. And he remained in custody from 11/26/2015 until March the 2nd, 2016. And then he was released on the bond here in Brazos County. He was modified to attend relapse safe P. He entered that on 4/4/2016, entered the Brazos County Jail to waive transport. Come find out that, and there's an email actually from probation, that no one seemed to have known about his other case in Rusk. And so when they sentenced him to relapse safe P here, he was then transported to Rusk, where he signed for 4 years TDC. And because of that, the relapse safe P would not let him in until he discharged his Rusk County TDC sentence. And that's when probation sent an email basically to, I think, Lisa, the state, some other people basically say, well, look, we did not know about the Rusk County TDC case. And maybe it'd probably be better just to bring him back, revoke his probation, run CC with that case. But he never was brought back, but they did put a hold on him. And so he actually sat there with a Brazos County hold from, well, basically from 4/4/2016 to, he finally got into the Safe P relapse program on May the 1st, 2019. So that all that time right there is, I think Regina and I think he's entitled to it, but that was the time that the state was contending he was not entitled to, even though he had a hold from Brazos County. So we're asking for that time to be granted to him, because he's in essence just sitting on a hold, Brazos County, waiting to get into safety.
Mr. Capps?
Well, Judge, and there've been an exchange of emails, I think really going back to Friday of this week. And I think I'd received some emails from Mr. Graves and from Ms. Parker that let me know that he did in fact have a Brazos County detainer on him during the period of time that he was in TDC serving another sentence. And I think, unless I'm wrong, that the state of the law is that if there's a detainer that's on him and a hold that's placed on him, he simply gets that credit. My concern about it was just that I think a defendant ought to get credit for time that they're spending in jail waiting to go to safety, when the thing that's holding them in jail is to transport to safety. In this case, that really wasn't so much the case. It was serving a prison sentence out of another county. However, I've been informed that a Brazos County detainer was placed on him. Regardless of how I feel about that, I think, like I said, unless I'm wrong, I think he's entitled to that.
I do believe he is entitled to that credit. Thank you. He will be given credit from 4/4/16 to 5/1/19. Sir, you will be given that credit. Mr. Graves appears to be working on any additional dates. Once you get your judgment, if you believe it is incorrect, just contact your attorney.
And I want to thank Mr. Graves and Lisa for sending me those emails clarifying that the detainer was on there yesterday, or yet at the end of last week. I appreciate being given that additional information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capps. Anything else from either side?
Excuse me, may I say one thing?
You may, yes.
Just on my behalf, I did tell my lawyer at the time what was going on. He had came back with an agreement to be signed 4 years concurrent with what I had, and then came back and ripped it up and said that the DA said no. So I don't want to.
those were prior negotiations, sir. It seems like y'all worked it out and reached that agreement. But as far as specifics with regard to this plea, do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. If you believe that time is incorrect on your judgment, then just let Mr. Graves know.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to you, sir. Mr. Graves, is that all you have this afternoon? All right.
Yes.
I got my handy hand beside me.
Yeah, that's
I even got my mask here. Just in case.
But that started questioning the numbers when I saw that one in Colorado. The guy died at a 0.55 BAC. And
What
said,
now?
guy, a coronavirus death in Colorado. He's classified as coronavirus death. He had a 0.55 blood alcohol content. It's obviously died of alcohol poisoning.
And they blamed it on coronavirus?
Yeah, because he had previously, he's asymptomatic or whatever. They saw some damage to his lung. And so then Colorado went back and started redoing all their deals. Went from 1,200 COVID deaths to 800 COVID deaths. Wow. You wonder how much of that. Because you get federal
And
funding.
everywhere else.
You get federal funding though.
Oh, my goodness.
Do we have a Brianna Jones outside?
I've already FTA'd her.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I gotta check on you.
You all have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Fred. You too.
All right, it looks like we are down to,
I've got us at 2:45 on Zoom.
that's what I have. Thank you.
We should have two more in person.
Thank you.
And then another put it in. That person said it's a pretty nice docket. We get in now, we're done.
I like it just because I stay busy. There's no
I
downtime.
think it's more efficient. We get in, we get done, and we go. And I might reset and get 500 emails.
I'm interested to see what the numbers are.
What are you doing today?
Yeah. Well, not just my numbers though, but as a whole.
See, they're not filing as many in. And like you're averaging 8 to 10 cases for me every week. Judge, when was the last time you ever did that many for me in a whole month? 4 weeks.
I think you said they're giving those good deals. How long is that coming to house?
Till we get back to normal.
What is it normal?
Jury trials like normal next year. I'm thinking it's gonna be.
Next year for jury trials? How's that? What are y'all gonna do?
I think back to normal jury trials. I think this will come back again in the winter. I think we'll have to back off the jury trials again. And by that time, they'll have a vaccine or something will happen.
Hopefully.
Mr. Banks, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's see if your client's ready. All right, Mr. Guest, can you hear me?
No.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
No.
And cause number 2631, CRF 272nd, you have an evading with a prior offense. Do you understand that charge as well as the range of punishment?
No.
Would you like me to read back to you a copy of the indictment that specifically lays out what you're charged with?
No.
Would you like me to formally go over the ranges of punishment with you?
No.
In cause number 2632, CRF 272nd, and count 1, you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And in count 2, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. Do you understand both of those charges as well as the ranges of punishment?
No.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 1 and States Exhibit 2 that will be up on your screen. For each cause number, State's Exhibit 1 is titled Plea of Guilty, Waiver of Stipulation, and Judicial Confession. Did you sign this document in both cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
And State's Exhibit 2 for each case and count is the plea agreement and order. Is that your signature?
No.
And did you also sign this document in your prior cause number as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by signing State's Exhibit 1 for both cases that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over both of these documents with Mr. Banks?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did he review and explain each document to your satisfaction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in State's Exhibit 1 or 2?
No, ma'am.
Is there an offer from the state?
Your Honor, the state would offer 1, 2, and 3 in each of these cause and count numbers.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1, 2, and 3 for each cause number will be admitted. Do you understand that if I approve the agreements that you're waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever sought any mental health treatment?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Banks, do you believe your client is competent?
Absolutely, Judge.
I will find you competent. In cause number 2631, CRF 272nd, how do you plead to the offense of evading with a prior offense?
Guilty?
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
No.
Based on your plea of guilty, I will find you guilty. I'll sentence you to 14 months in a state jail facility. You'll be given any credit for time which you've already served so far. When you get over to state jail, make sure that you sign up for any programs there that they have to offer, as well as not have any disciplinary issues. If you do so, it's possible that you can get 20% credit back on that time.
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2632, CRF 272nd, count 1 and count 2. In count 1, how do you plead to the offense of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle?
Guilty, ma'am.
And in count 2, how do you plead to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, felony group 1 less than 1 gram?
Guilty.
In both cases, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
No.
In each count, I will find you guilty. In each count, I will sentence you to 14 months in a state jail facility that will run concurrent with each other, as well as cause number 2631, CRF 272nd, and you'll be given credit for time which you've served so far.
Thank you,
Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. If there's nothing else, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. You get your question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do I get my, my parole when I get off? I'll still be on 3 months parole, or do I just report to my parole officer?
They'll give you all the instructions whenever you are discharged from state jail.
And did I get my fees wiped off?
Say that one more time. You were breaking up.
All my court fees, did I get them? Do I gotta pay them, or do I got them wiped off?
You will have court costs. So whenever you get out of state jail, they should go over that with you, but make sure you set up a payment plan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Yeah. Sweeps.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Should be out the hallway. I think they're gonna do one.
All right. Give me 1 second, Mr. Sweeps.
They're gonna do the jail one first.
All right, Marcus Parnell.
Kaylee, are you doing Marcus Parnell first?
Yeah, I'm going to go in order.
Okay.
Good afternoon. This is cause number 192675, CRF 272nd, State of Texas versus Marcus Parnell. This is set for a status hearing. Is that correct? And then I see one cause number here, 2653, CRF 272nd for arraignment and pretrial, as well as 183821, CRF 272nd for a status hearing. What's the status of these cases?
We have been working with the prosecutor, Your Honor. We think we are pretty close to making
an arrangement between both parties. There's a little bit of discovery I'm waiting on in the new cause number, the 20, the theft case of the copper. As soon as I review that, I'll be able to confer with my client, but we're pretty confident by our next hearing, we'll have a plea arrangement with the state. All right, and would you like formal arraignment here today on cause number 2653 CRF 272nd? You can choose to have her read that to you, or you can waive it like we've done before where you say sign the waiver.
Okay, same.
You just want to waive it? Okay. All right, the court will enter a plea of not guilty. Sir, can you tell me, is your name spelled correctly on this copy of the indictment that's up on the screen there? No, that's kind of difficult to see.
Yes, it is.
All right. Is there anything else we need to take up this afternoon? I don't.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, sir, is your address still the same?
Yes, ma'am.
You will be getting that setting notice in the mail, so just keep in contact with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to reset this for a plea or just a status hearing? Let's shoot for a status hearing, and we'll always be allowed to enter a plea on that day. All right. If there's nothing else, sir, you can be excused.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
You going with Ms. McLean, Judge?
Yes. Robert Sweeps?
Yes.
How are you?
Good, how are you? I don't know where my 60 is.
You're good.
This is like,
That's not where everybody's at.
okay. So I understand exactly where everybody's been moving here.
All right. Let's bring your client in.
So I attempted to do a jail visit with him where he didn't show up in the jail. When I called him, they never brought him to me, so.
Okay. Mr. Sweeps?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is cause number 2199 CRF 272nd and 2200 CRF 272nd. Your attorney, Ms. McLean, is in the courtroom here today. We are set for a status hearing. What's the status of this case?
We're looking for a reset, Judge. We just got an official offer on this case Thursday. So we're still in the process of negotiating and talking with my client. So.
Does the state need to add anything for the purpose of the record?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Sweeps, your attorney did try to visit you at the jail, and she will do so. Again, just keep in contact with your attorney. Do you have any questions for me this afternoon?
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll be talking to her, but she'll come back up here and talk to me.
Hey, Robert, I set a jail visit with you Friday morning, and even when I called, they didn't put you on the visit. So I didn't get a chance to reset one this morning. My morning was packed, but I am going to go back and try and get one in the morning. So if not tomorrow morning, then Wednesday morning.
Well, I don't know if I go back to court.
We don't know. I just got a shrug from the court coordinator.
Whatever you want.
But I can tell you from what we've talked about, the offer on the table is not what you want.
Okay.
But if we can reset it quickly, if you decide you want to take it, I will email the.
I can always add a plea with signed plea paperwork.
We can always add a plea with signed plea paperwork.
They say what?
We can always add a plea with signed plea paperwork. So if I talk to you tomorrow or Wednesday and you decide you want to take that plea, Ms. Lisa will happily put us on the docket for a plea.
But you can't tell me what it is?
It's 10 years TDC.
No, I don't want that one.
That's what I figured. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we're not in the middle of court and with the prosecutor on the line. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Do you have any additional questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. You'll get your next setting notice in the mail. All right, Calhoun. Looks like our last one.
All we've got pulled. Calhoun.
Okay.
Oops.
Thank you.
Have a good day. This is cause number 191893, CRF 272nd. Mr. Calhoun, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a motion to revoke that was filed January 27th of 2020. Do you understand each of those violations that are alleged?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to read those violations back to you?
No, ma'am.
Do you also understand the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1 and State's Exhibit 2 that's going to be up on your screen. State's Exhibit 1 is your plea of true to the state's motion to revoke your community supervision and adjudicate your guilt. Did you sign this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And State's Exhibit 2 is the plea agreement and order. Is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign both of these documents freely, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by signing State's Exhibit 1 that you are giving up certain United States constitutional rights, Texas constitutional rights, as well as other rights under Texas law?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have adequate time to go over all of these documents with your attorney, Mr. Osk?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about anything contained in either of these documents?
No, ma'am.
Is there an offer from the state?
Your Honor, state would offer 1 and 2.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 and 2 will be admitted. Sir, do you understand that if I approve the agreement that you're waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication today?
No, ma'am. Well, my insulin.
Anything about your medication or mental health that would prevent you from understanding the proceedings here today?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Osk, do you believe your client is competent?
I do, Your Honor.
I will find you competent. And to the allegations in the motion to revoke filed January 17th of 2020, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
Are you pleading true because each of the violations are true?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your plea of true, I will find each allegation and violation true. I will modify your probation, sentence you to 10 days in the Brazos County Jail as a condition. You'll have the intensive outpatient program, as well as substance abuse evaluation, anger management evaluation, and all other conditions, fines, fees will carry over from your old probation. Do you have any questions about anything we've gone over here today?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Osk, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And is there anything else from the state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Calhoun, if there's nothing else, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I could get an updated telephone number for him, and if he could report to the probation department tomorrow morning, so we can go over his conditions with you.
Thank you.
He's got 10 days as a condition that starts today.
Got it. He does have those 10 days. Mr. Calhoun, can you provide the probation department with a good phone number and address, please, sir, so they know where you are when you are getting out?
Yes, ma'am. Right now?
Or
hate to do that over
actually
YouTube. Ms. Yargo, how about he comes and sees you the next day as soon as he is released from the Brazos County Jail?
Since he's got 10 days, Judge, we'll just come to the jail and do a jail visit with him, and we'll get his contact information then.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anything else from either side? All right, sir. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Too.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all. We're almost there, Kristen.
Thank you, Judge.
Our last week. Hang in there. Have a good day.
I've got 2 more weeks. They've got this week and next week.
We do too, but they've told us that grades only go through this week. So I am like, I'm counting it.
Deuces.
If I can get through this week, it's a win.
Yeah. I'm a little anxious. The governor just sent a list of all the different places that can reopen, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
I'd like to be able to stay in my cocoon, in my safe little bubble a little bit longer.
Yeah, I haven't even got an update, so
I just clicked on it while I was off video, and it was, I think, like bars can start to reopen, and I'm just, what could go wrong in a college town when the bars reopen?
Security.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. The numbers are definitely going to go up, so we'll see what they do as these phases.
All right. Well, everybody stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.